Hello and welcome back to another episode of when we took the first tour on the property of the abandoned Abbey fortress. In this episode, Jackie, our realtor, took us to see the dining room and the kitchen. And this is what I wanted to see most of all, was the kitchen. I just fantasized about a country French kitchen. I was dying inside. All the sparkling copper pots hanging in a row, the massive stone fireplace for cooking, an enormous cast iron stove, bushels of fruits and vegetables and wild game, and rustic oak beams and a trestle table. Okay, back to reality. I knew what the rest of the house looked like when we went on the tour, right? And I knew it wouldn't be any different than what the abandoned, neglected state that the other parts of the house looked like. So Jackie took us back through the main entry and into the foyer. But instead of turning right like we did in the past episodes, we turned left. And we went directly into the dining room. And then we made our way into the kitchen. The kitchen was located in a connecting building to the Abbey. It was reconstructed in 1762 when the apse of the church had collapsed. That's when they rebuilt the cave too. Then we went in the back and we saw several weird, strange rooms. So my hopes were not very high. However, as we walked through the front door, something swept over me. It was a sensation of nostalgia and a sense of connection with the people who had lived here before. At that moment, I stopped thinking of the condition of the house. Its spatial layout, ceiling heights, solar orientation. What was there for me were the people who lived there. The last family lived there for generations, over 100 years. I saw them going up and down the staircase, opening the shutters to let the light in, dining together as a family in the dining room. The spaces took on another dimension. It was not in good condition, but I sensed love. The children decided to sell because their mother, who lived there alone for many years, had to move to a retirement home. I can't imagine how hard it would have been to say goodbye to your family home that's been in your family for that long of a time. The kitchen was humble and practical, but the family didn't have servants like the country kitchens in my dreams. But it did have a big fireplace, and I imagined the family cooking and laughing together with the big fire roaring inside. It really did change my perspective. We continued the tour past the back kitchen wall and into a pantry. It was intriguing to me because instead of the drop ceiling like in the kitchen, this room had some real beams. The other storage room was filled with fishing gear, but little did we know the stone treasure in that forgotten corner. Upstairs, there were empty rooms that might have been for the help at the time that there were servants. I wonder who put up these little pictures. Jackie had an incredible surprise for us. He took us back upstairs in the main house in one of the bedrooms. There was a tiny door that we didn't notice the first time. He opened it up and there was the attic space over the kitchen. Okay, that was all well and good. Then he showed us what was on the common wall with the church. 2 bricked up rose windows. This gives us further proof of the collapse of the apse and the rebuilding of the cave and the kitchen at 1762. Since we were over the kitchen, in the kitchen attic, we still couldn't see the window of the dormer, and you couldn't see them from the kitchen either. So there must be another floor that was hidden.